correct? Motion to approve. Second. All in favor? All right. And first, or next on the agenda, we have Jessica Holbrook. Talk to us about your office this morning.
I have 2 board of assessor members that are term is about to expire next month, so do y'all want to reappoint them for another 3-year term?
They volunteered to stay on? Who would that be?
It's Scotty Mathis and Carol Brown.
Okay. They've been there for how many years?
Since 2006. They were appointed September 3th.
That's your recommendation? Anything else out of your office? All in favor? All right. Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have our friends from Georgia Forestry, Brookline and Jason Squire. Good morning. Good morning. Thank y'all.
I'm going to hand this guy to you, and I apologize for not having enough for all the commissioners. We have 2 of them we'll pass around. Jason will get enough back to you guys, especially one for your files. That's the county annual report from last year. Basically, just some highlights of it. Last year we issued 21,000 burn permits across our 3 county area. Plowed and adhered 471 miles of fire breaks for landowners. And the number of fires was drastically down from past years. We were like 76 wildfires last year, and the year before that we were like 140. It's about cut in half. We've done a lot of fire prevention campaigning over the last several years, so that's reduced those numbers. So anyway, wanted to present that to you guys. That's the last one I'll present to y'all, unfortunately. I brought Jason this morning. Everybody knows Jason. He's been a ranger too in Lanier County. Started in Lanier County with his career with Georgia Forestry, and I accepted another position within our district. And Jason has actually come back. That was one of the stipulations of me accepting the position, was to get Jason in my position. Of course, he was the best man for the job anyway. So Jason did move to Clinch County. He has come back, and he's taken my position as Chief Ranger for Edwards Lanier Lands. And it's been my privilege to serve in that capacity for 14 years. So I was actually one of the longest Chief Rangers from 40 years ago serving in that capacity. So it's been an honor to do that in my home county. But Jason's coming back. Nothing will change. Might change for the better, but Jason will carry on. You'll still have the quality of service and the hope better service that we had before. So anyway, I do appreciate that. I did want to mention one thing. Some of the commissioners know about this, and some of the citizens don't, but the Georgia Forestry Commission and the Department of Defense has entered into a new program. It's called the Federal Firefighters Property Program. What that means is the firefighting apparatuses that are in Iraq and Afghanistan that are coming back to the states now are available to the counties at no cost, or excuse me, very minimal cost, or administrative cost. I've already talked with some of the commissioners about it and the fire chief, and basically what this program does is it takes very nice equipment, very top-rated equipment that they've used overseas and brings it back and allows us to be able to screen it. And Georgia Forestry has a higher level of screening authority, you can say. We're actually the first screener. They unloaded off the boat, and we have the ability to screen it at that time. Some of this equipment has 20 or 30 miles. Some of it has 1,000 miles. Very, very low mileage equipment. Very, very good equipment. But we do have a request in right now for 2 Class A pumpers, 2 brush trucks, and 1 tanker. Now, with that said, we tried to get 4 to 5 Class A pumpers. And I was talking with our screeners across the state, and they weren't going to allow one county to get that many Class A pumpers. So we changed that to a tanker / Class A pumper for 1. So that should give you maybe 3 Class A pumpers. And then there was some problems with some brush trucks and things of that nature. So we put in with a couple of brush trucks. Now these are totally outfitted equipment. The only thing you'll have to do is if the equipment is camouflaged or desert tan, you'll have to paint it within 6 months. That is a requirement. And what happens in years past, the county Georgia Forestry would loan equipment to the county, and it always belonged to Georgia Forestry, and we still have equipment out there that way. What this program does is it takes that equipment. We maintain the title for 6 months. After 6 months, we inspect it. The next 6 months, we start a transfer of title, and then we transfer it to the county. And then at the end of that next 6 months, the year, that title becomes the property of the county, and that equipment becomes property of the county. So at any time that you guys want to sell it or anything else, the money that you get from it comes back to the county. So it's totally on the county at that point in time. So, but it's some real nice equipment. I mean, I've seen pictures of it and seen some of it in service, and it's top-rated equipment. So we've started that program. I will tell you, Lanier County was the third county in the state to get put into the program. So hopefully we'll get some equipment very soon. And the guys are screening that now. The only cost to the county is a small administrative fee and a transportation fee. Administrative fee per piece of equipment is, I believe it's $100 per apparatus. And then the transportation fee, you can't drive it, it's the only thing. You have to pick it up and logo it back. Now, and it's $2.50 a mile, which, relatively speaking, for a $500,000 piece of equipment is pretty cheap. So, for Class A pumpers. Anyway, that's a new program. I just want everybody to understand the program, and hopefully we'll get some nice equipment for the county. That was our goal. So, anyway, with that, I'll turn it over to Jason if he has anything, question.
Well, Buck, I'd just like to say thank you for all you've done for us over the years, and we'll miss you. You know you're leaving us was probably our first choice pick.
Mine too.
So, congratulations on your.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back home. You know, Plains County, everybody knows Plains is a great county to work in, but there ain't nothing like home, and I'm glad to be back.
So will you be stationed over here, or you in Lanier?
For right now, I'll be stationed here because we're kind of in a transition period. I'll still be covering Lowndes and Eccles, and most of my time, well, I wouldn't say most of it, but it'll be split about 3 ways between Lanier, Lowndes, and Eccles, just like Bucks had to do. But my office is going to be here in Lanier, which is, you know, where I'll get my email, you know, take care of all my administrative stuff.
And your new office, is it?
In Lowndes for about 80% of the time. That was the other stipulation of the job. I didn't want to move to Waycross, so my office is still in Lowndes. I'll spend time in Lanier County, but I've got a phone and a computer in my truck. They get a hold of me anywhere I go. So, but anyway, I'm still available. I'll assist Jason as much as possible during burn season when he's busy and with fires. Well, this is the largest area in the district. Actually, it's the largest management area in the state of Georgia. Our county unit. It's over 500,000 acres under one supervisor. So.
And your new position is
It's an assistant district manager for the Satilla district. It covers a 17-county area from here to the coast. So, and then I do the same thing I did for the district, but on a larger scale.
Oh, are we still in that Satilla, or?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
How long is that program? You have any idea how long the program lasts?
It will be lasting until all the equipment is gone. Several years. They're anticipating 5 to 10 years to get it all in service. So, and what we'll do is the county does not have to accept it. I didn't mention that. But what we'll do is we'll screen it. If the chief wants to go with us, commissioners can ride. And we're screening stuff from Virginia Beach to Miami, to Texas. You know, it might be that we do a little traveling, but we can ride and do a look at it before we actually bring it back.
Really appreciate all y'all do for us. Anybody have any questions? Comments?
Just glad that you're able to help us like that.
Next on the agenda, we have an update on service delivery from American Red Cross and Ms. Terry Jenkins.
Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to be on the agenda. Stephanie Bell, she's a board member of mine for the Red Cross, and she lives here in Lakeland, so she's going to be passing out some information to the panel up here. Some of you may not be aware that a couple of years ago, the Valdosta chapter, which covered four counties, merged with Thomasville and Moultrie, becoming the South Georgia chapter. So I was appointed director for the Valdosta chapter. A year later, I acquired 7 extra counties. And just with the staff of 3, we're quite busy. I actually have a staff of 1 now, and she's a part-time status. Jack Lindy, some of you may be aware of who he is. He is my emergency services program manager. He lives in Berrien County, and but he does disaster response over here. And a lot of changes has happened with the Red Cross in the last couple of years, but nothing so great as to affect our service delivery, which I'm primarily responsible for fundraising for disaster response. And as everybody saw back in March, the tornado and the devastation that people suffered from that here in Lanier County and then north of the base in Lowndes, it caught people off guard. And what the Red Cross does is to stand ready to assist those who are affected by disaster. Primarily what we focus on is floods, fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. The Red Cross does not assist with utilities or rent or anything, electric and things like that, but what we do is we refer out to other agencies that can help those people that are affected. Now our price guide list has changed. We are actually obligated now to assist those that are affected by disaster with those issues that I just mentioned, but they have to be a true disaster client. And we've just really been busy this past year. June 30th ended our fiscal year 12. On the table though is last year's annual report for FY11. July 1st started my new year, and what I just really want to encourage you to think about is how ready you are for disaster. And anybody can acquire any kind of information. You can go to our website, valdostaredcross.org. That name is soon going to change to South Georgia Red Cross. I have two needs that I want to address. One, of course, is money, because without money we can't do what we're called to do in our mission. And then volunteers, and always looking for partners, churches, people in the community, civic organizations, things like that. And we have disaster action teams, what we call DATs for short, that cover this area and travel in our 11 county area. But what we're looking for are people that actually live here in Lanier County that will be willing to take some minimal training to be a disaster response. Because I have teams in Valdosta that cover Brooks, Eccles, and Lanier, but it would be nice to have volunteers that actually live here in Lanier County. We have partnership shelters, and everybody knows, especially in county, I'm sure which shelters over here are designated to be a Red Cross shelter if they have to be open. So we work very closely with the EMA, John Pruitt here, to keep the lines of communication open and come up with a plan. Now, again, I believe, back in March, there were a lot of people that were caught unaware. And with the tornado, it's kind of a little bit hard-pressed to actually be prepared. Hurricane season, which we are in, we're on our fifth or sixth named storm. There's 22, the NWS, and NOAA just upped the hurricanes to 22, from like 17 to 22. This is something that we watch daily, is the weather watch. And a briefing came out just this morning from the Lowndes County EMA, the Withlacoochee River is crested above the normal level. So that's something that we stand watch and try to pay attention to every day. Again, Stephanie, she's a resident here in Lanier County. She joined the board back in the spring. What I need help is somebody being the point of contact or the face of Red Cross, because I'm only one person. I travel around the 11 counties pretty much on a daily, weekly basis. If there's any money in Lanier County, just respectfully request any consideration for a donation to the Red Cross South Georgia chapter. I have a board of directors of 12 people. Some represent multiple counties that we cover. I go all the way west to Donaldsonville to the Alabama line. And we're the only organization that's chartered by Congress to do the disaster response that we provide. And our service delivery, of course, is disaster. Our services are armed forces, and then our preparedness, health, and safety. For 5 years, everywhere I've gone to speak about the Red Cross, I ask, are you prepared for disaster? Our Be Red Cross Ready program. We have, we now have a Ready Rating program where businesses can grade yourselves and see how prepared you are. ReadyRating.org. Who on site is trained in CPR first aid? If not for your employees, but for the customers that walk through your door. These are all things to think about, and all of that costs money. So any consideration would be appreciated, and of course the need for volunteers. And if anybody in here is interested in a one-on-one, I'll be glad to come meet with you, or disaster training, I can put you in touch with Jacqueline. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. But thank you for having me. Does anybody have any questions? Comments?
Appreciate you coming this morning. I'm sure we need to do some training. I'm sure whatever you ladies might suggest or help us be more prepared, more ready for the next time we do have a disaster, because it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So.
Well, that's what I say. Disaster happens 24/7, but the Red Cross stands ready 24/7. And I believe we expended out about $8,000 back in March for that tornado relief. Just a few months later, we experienced flooding in Thomasville. Lake City is where I grew up, Lake City, Florida, and at the end of June, first part of July, that area in Live Oak was devastatingly affected by the flooding. And I saw places where I grew up, and it was just horrible. My friends and family, were affected by all that. So it can catch you unaware, but there is a way that you can, be prepared and stand ready. So anything that y'all need in the way of that, just let us know. Okay, thank you.
All right, well, let's see, department reports, you want to start with that?
All right, we'll start with activities for the month of July. Fire department answered 28 calls in July. 11 of the 28 were EMS calls. In the county, 19 of the 28 were answered and 9 of the 19 paid. That put the county's paid $1,500 for the month. Things repaired, I got the 911 van out, fixed it up, serviced it up. We're going to try to get started on the 911 signs, try to finish that up. I think the West Side District is the main area that hasn't been finished yet. So we're trying to get that fired up again, get that going. We had to put some new tires on truck number 14 and 12. And the R2 unit, the Lakeland station, had to have a new set of batteries. Okay, we have a set of rescue airbags on the R1 unit. That's for rescuing a vehicle, exploitation and stuff. Come to find out those airbags went out of date, so we had to replace them. I couldn't believe they had a date on them, but the lady assured me that they did. And matter of fact, she told me to go out and test them, and I did. One of them did bust, so she was right. They got a date on them. So if we had to replace those, that run us about $1,500 for those two bags. So I was able to send the others in and get a credit, and they give you 20% off on the new ones. So got a new set of bags coming for that. The biggest issue I have right now, I'm going to let you know what's going on. Some money I'm fixing to have to spend on a big ticket item. Our breathing air compressor at the station has gone out. This is the pump that fills the bottles for the VA pack. I called Bauer in Ocala to come look at it. They came down and gave it a look over and asked me how old it was. I told them we'd had it 20 years, but I didn't know exactly how old it was. Not only was the pump bad, the scrubbing system that scrubbed that air before it tanks it, it was well past its usable date. So he said it should have been taken out of service long ago, but we've been getting by. So told him I was going to have another one. Our old system is a 2,000-pound system. You can't get that anymore. We have got to go to a 5,000-pound system because that's what I know a lot of fire departments are doing now. They got 4,500-pound tanks. We're still using a 2216 tanks. So we're going to a 5,000 pump, and we'll have to put in a fill station that will regulate that 5,000 back to our 2216 so we don't overfill a bottle and blow it up. Told him I'd done looked on his website at the cost of compressors. There ain't no way we can afford new stuff. So we went with reconditioned stuff. This is stuff that's went into him. It's been totally reconditioned, ready to go back out. It's a lot less money, but it's still expensive. He sent me a quote here, and what this is for is putting in a system with a new pump or a reconditioned pump. It'll have a 2-tank cascade system, which is what we have now, but ours again is a 2,000. We've got to go to a 5. And then a fill station. We've never had a fill station, but there's always a danger one blowing up, and it will kill you if it does. We have a thing that was built down there out of steel, but it's still not NFPA approved that it will contain a blown bottle. We've just been using it, been lucky, never had no trouble. So going to a certified fill station. Total thing, whole system put in, up and running with I didn't ask him what the warranty was on it. He's going to give us a $500 trade-in on the old pump. The whole thing, and of course the city will be paying half of this. But the whole thing will be $10,005.32. So y'all be paying $5,000. So that's something I plan to call him today and get the bottle running on it. We gotta have it. We can't fill a bottle without it. and the old pump, the system is just gone, so, just letting you know, it's a big ticket item, we weren't planning on it, just came up. But we did get by 20 years ago, and we bought it from surplus 20 years ago. And it's worked good till now.
If it doesn't work just as long.
But it was made by Bowers, and I called Bowers, and they were ready to get some trade-in on the old one. But he said it probably ain't no good to him, but he would give me something for it, because we don't make them anymore. But anyhow, just to let you know, don't get that ball rolling today. I'll let you know how it comes out again, but that should be it. This is the quote he gave, and that should be the final price right there.
Mr. Chairman, got two quick questions here. On the system, that supplier, is that the only supplier that you could get that equipment from?
Now, a lot of people make it, but we had a valve and it's back to valve. And they're the closest one to me, they're just an Ocala. So when you get some from Michigan, Illinois, Ocala was right there, and they had a valve pump starting this. I said, well, you know, if you go to another company, they're not gonna take your old valve for, you know, at least we get $500 out of it.
Then the equipment, you mentioned that you don't know what the warranty is yet, but if it's reconditioned equipment, it's certified to be as reconditioned and
Yeah,
get something in writing for that warranty?
I'm
Is that
sure we will.
certified?
I didn't talk to them about the warranty on the condition, but I'm sure they'll give something right on the
We
warranty.
should get something if it's that important, if it's critical for safety.
But,
If we're using it, someone get hurt, we need to know it was certified, reconditioned.
right. I would love to have new stuff, but just the compressor for new is over $10,000.
I totally understand.
That didn't count anything else, and ran the whole system. So, you know, I'd love to have brand new stuff, but it just.
But however, if you're gonna get reconditioned stuff that's not certified, you might want to get new stuff.
Well, this is all, everything you put's gonna be certified and ready to get. You know, this is all these people do, everything.
But it needs to be in writing.
So, yep, we'll get a warranty. I didn't even ask him what the warranty was on the condition, but I'll find out. Let you know next week.
Anybody else? All right, thank you for that report. Bob, can you give us a road update?
Good morning. Everyone knows we've had an issue with the rain in the last couple, 3 weeks. We've had issues trying to get the roads up and keep them graded where they need to be done. But we're back up and running again full strength this morning. We're still widening these roads as possible because some got narrowed up, which that's an ongoing issue anyway. But anyway, they're trying to resolve these problems. Also, Milltown Road, got a locator coming to dispose today, and I'll get that road opened up. So we switch roads over from the old Milltown Road to the new one. All we got to do is pull a ditch and close the road off. And just whenever you guys tell me up, I can get it opened up. And also got speed bumps put in Mill Pond subdivision. Those came in, we got those too. So those people over there, right now, I guess, pretty much satisfied unless they have an issue somewhere else. So these other places. The detention ban, I have not got any bids on it yet because what we had is all we start spending money on it. Haven't had a bid on it yet. As of right now, haven't had any issue with it in the last 4 or 5 weeks, so still good to go on that one. And I've also got the bids on trading in this 420 cat back there we have the pit on an excavator. And we got 3 bids on those from Flint, DEC, and cat. If you decide that we can stand the price of getting rid of the tobacco is paid for. Bought it in 07, paid $77,000 for it then. They're gonna give us 46 on trade-in on it. I spent about $3,000 on it month before last. So we're gonna have some issues with it. Talked to the cat guy, he said there's a problem on the back end of it. Where the swing trees at, the way the thing's made, because you got that extended on the back end of it. Plus we got 11 acres, we've got the stump to get it cleaned up, so we're running out of topsoil. We've got plenty of clay, and we've got some clay that's like a coarse sand. far as topsoil, we're pretty much out of it.
And basically, by us trading in the two graders, we've lowered our payments there.
We lowered the payments on that, plus on the two graders that flip flop, we're saving $1,200 a month. I'm fixing those, getting a lease on those two graders.
Right.
So the prices have been those.
Previous years, we've paid off the dump trucks. I mean,
Yeah, everything
all
else.
payments are except for the two graders, and then so we actually would have room to do this and not,
Right.
our payments aren't really changing.
Yeah, the only thing.
They're not gonna increase from what they were
No,
previously.
they're only going to increase probably $200. So we're saving 12,
But
and
not
we're paying
overall.
19, something for the other ones on the lease, and we got these other ones for 13, well over $1,300 a month.
So backhoe really kind of, we have a nice backhoe, but it's not really practical for what we really need. The excavator would do everything and more the backhoe do and allow Bob, if he had to have an excavator somewhere in the county to clean up.
Yeah, we had an excavator about a month after I first came in here, we didn't have one. I rode it about to wash that. Luckily, we had a free stockpile. We ended up having to rent an excavator then to save the road.
You making a recommendation that we go with, I assume, the John Deere?
Yeah, I thought the warranty on the John Deere is 84 months, which is 7 years. And it pretty much includes everything that's on it. And, the price on it is about $1,400 and some odd dollars a month, which the other three were also, and one from Cat was a 2009 model, it was still $1,400 something a month. Then you want to price up the 11 model, it was way out there. For the warranty on machines, the John Deere, I think we way good. That's y'all's call.
You said John Deere's got 7 years warranty.
7 years, 84 months.
And this,
Yeah,
yeah,
others
got 3
just
years.
5 years.
That's the cap. That's the cap. Y'all like to take action on that?
It's a good deal for the county if you need it.
Yeah.
The payments are not going up. Make a motion to approve.
We'll be having our road department good shape, I think, that after we just, or getting there anyway. I'm sure you can take a bunch more equipment, but we would be pretty functional.
So let me make sure I'm clear. You said we would trade in that backhoe, use that towards the excavator, the John Deere one.
Right. So that, I mean, right now, that backhoe just kind of, it sits there either it's working real hard, trying to
Yeah,
load up dirt.
it's time consuming when you try to load up some of these trucks and as far as stockpiling dirt, it's just a slow moving. Plus we got the 11 acres got stuff, if you're gonna be, rent another excavator and then turn it back in, get through with it.
Currently, your truck drivers, when they get there, they get out of the truck. I mean, not that we don't want them
Right.
to take a break or stand around, but they're just standing there waiting on that backhoe to load that dump truck, whereas that excavator had him loaded and he'd be going back to work.
Yeah.
So it'll make y'all more efficient as well. So,
Mr. Chairman, we got a question here. On this John Deere contract, it says 84 months, $4,000 for full warranty in bold. Then the next line below that under the payments is not in bold. It says includes travel and mileage for 60 months
Yeah.
or $4,000.
And normally on the call out fee on this, it's like about $165 to $85 is gonna be called out on those.
For service call when they come out. we
Yeah,
have to
when
pay
they come
that.
out, even, everything else, it'll be covered, but they'll have like a call out fee, it's gonna be around 175, 185 an hour.
When they come out to
That's what
repair
call
it,
out fee, yeah.
even if it's under warranty.
Even if it's unwarranted, it still won't come out. They'll charge $185 after 5 years,
After 5 years,
after 5 years,
or the $4,000.
or $4,000, and it'll be hard pressed, took $4,000 on the
Yeah.
excavator out there.
So I guess my question then is, before $4,000, it's all free. Right. That's what I need to think.
So you gonna be able to set pipes with that,
Pardon?
gonna be able to set pipes with?
Yeah. But they already got the John Deere backhoe also, as far as putting in pipes, they use the John Deere to put pipes in.
All right, does somebody make a motion?
I make a motion to accept the John Deere.
No, sir.
Any further discussion on that? All in favor?
Mr. Chairman, I have one comment for Mr. Moore for roads. I talked to him earlier, and I talked to Mr. Cecil about Good Hope Road. Got a lot of loggers out in the county, and they're messing up our roads. So I asked Mr. Moore if he would give it to the tax assessor's office, find out what logging company are cutting the timber. They need to repair our roads or pay for it, because they're messing up a lot of roads where they have the trucks going off the shoulder and so forth. The one on Good Hope is Family Crossing off of Good Hope. It's really bad, and it's breaking up the edges and it's potential liability for the county, so they need to pay.
Yeah, 'cause I just keep up with time machinery on the job and building that way, and I'll get Don and Albert, and I'll get
Jessica. Okay.
Because you have to watch them, they'll be in and out and gone.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that, Bob. Then we'll move on to animal control, John.
Last month, we didn't have a whole lot of dogs, had 57 calls, picked up 22 dogs, had 3 livestock cars. Run into something I had never run into before. Places like Tractor Supply, you have these here rabies clinics, also 2 rabies clinics in different counties. The vet that comes here, they wire everything fine with vet. But I'm seeing rabies tag showed up, and the only things on the rabies tag is says rabies 2012, and they have a number. It's no good. State does not recognize it, the health department don't recognize it, and I'm not gonna recognize it. Because if that dog bites somebody, how am I gonna call the vet to verify that that tag went to that dog, or that dog is up to date?
And did you say, did I hear you correctly, the clinics that we do over here, we have a vet that comes?
Exactly, it's supposed to be the vet's name or the vet's phone number. You've got to have a contact number to verify who owns that dog. Or if I can't find the owner, I can still call the vet and verify that that dog is up to date dog. These vets are coming out of Florida, and they just put, that's all that's on the tag. There's no way to verify. Tags look like you go to Walmart and make it. And there's no way to verify that tag is legit. So if it don't have a vet's name on it, or his phone number, we're not gonna recognize it. State don't recognize it, the health department don't recognize it.
Well, we might want to do something in the paper to make people aware of that. I mean, they can take their pet over to the hospital.
Right.
I think they're getting immunized against rabies, and we will do that. So maybe you get Albert, Don, and y'all put something.
The reason I'm letting y'all know, because when I start telling people I'm not recognized, then they gonna go talk to y'all, and y'all ain't gonna know what's going on.
Don't y'all agree? We need to educate the public on that. That's gonna be your policy, so we'll do that.
Okay. Another thing, I don't know what y'all decided on it or have you yet on my contract.
We're gonna try to wind all that up by September. I'm actually gonna propose that we have a call meeting probably next week, probably Wednesday, Thursday, try to finish up budget, Hilltown Road, and we may have another item that we may need to talk about, a purchase that we might need to do. So
Okay.
I think we'll be getting all those items and what you're asking will finished up by hopefully our first meeting in September. Either we'll have another call meeting before that.
Okay.
We do it.
That's the reason I was asking, that way I know how I gotta work my finances. Okay.
Also, if I may, Mr. Chairman, I talked to Mr. Westbury for me concerning his budget request for the new fiscal year. It's for 24/7 coverage.
Yeah, you have to go back to 24/7. And if you can't find the money, I can tell you where to find it.
I'm sorry, what?
If you can't find what I'm asking for, I can tell you where to find it.
The additional increase for the 24/7 coverage versus 5-day coverage. He said he's got some resources.
Okay. All right.
You get it from the health department. Because rabies falls up under the jurisdiction of the health department. Rabies, all that, I have to answer to them. And it says in the book, the health department is supposed to furnish the rabies control officer. Everybody just assumes it falls under animal control. So actually, the environmentalists ain't gonna go out there 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for a dog bite. So they need to be contributing to animal control.
Of course, you know where most of their money comes, a lot of their money comes from us.
I just tell you where you can get me some.
We write those checks as well.
Any questions? I got to be in court.
All right. Thank you.
Randy, you got EMS?
Yes. Good morning. Again, we had more EMS calling and now more control units. That's why I kind of budget my stuff. It used to be me. We had 109 calls for July. Well, 109.68 within the city limits of Richmond. 8 was in Teeterville, 2 in Mud Creek, 11 in West Side, 14 in Stockton. The rest were scattered out to mutual aid. We called for mutual aid a total of 8 times last month. We assisted other counties 6 times. Of our transports, 46 patients that were transported was transported straight to STMC. 18 to our. We had several cancellation calls. The coroner was actually called 4 times. And we had 1 standoff. That's pretty much the report for our monthly activities. Kind of like animal control, we probably get some phone calls about an accident that happened yesterday. Our ambulance was on a dispatch call to an unresponsive person. So that call came in first and they had to go to that call first. Even though the accident was basically in front of the hospital and it looked like our ambulance just pulled out and went away from the wreck instead of turning toward the wreck. But they did answer the first call that they received. And by law, that's what we have to do. So Kent County, Berrien County, and Lambs County all came to work an accident in front of our hospital yesterday.
All 3.
Yes, there were 4 patients in the rig.
Lambs and Berrien transport, each assisted in their return.
So just giving you a heads up on that, because you'll probably start getting some phone calls and why did the ambulance go away from the wreck instead of toward the wreck and things like that. Unfortunately, that's just another thing you can't plan for. If we had the resources to have 3 EMS crews, that would be great. Your county don't have that resource. I'm not asking you to try to come up for that. Our first responders, from what I understand, did a great job. They monitored the patients and took care of the patients until ambulances arrived.
Where were they transported?
One young lady, her parents come up and took her POV to Smith. She had just been hit with an airbag and was complaining about her eye, so they took her personally, and the other 3 were in hospital.
Okay. Donna, is anything going on with 88 transition?
That's like with RC, we're working on it, we'll have it done within the next month.
Just update on loss negotiation. I think we scheduled a meeting with mediator, non-licensed mediator for August 29th. I don't know if
You know, we don't have a time. Not the, okay.
I'll check on that, but I don't see how to.
All right, anybody got any citizen comments or questions or anything?
I went to the Parks and Rec, to that little tournament that they had, I think maybe last week, week and a half ago. I was very disappointed. There's potholes everywhere. I fell in a hole in the dirt. The bathrooms were disgusting. Is there something, if they're getting this money, is there something that they can do to try to keep it up? Because that brings money into the county when they have things like that.
We've got a newly appointed park board,
Okay.
and I would maybe, I'll give you 2 phone numbers,
Okay.
and you can come.
It's just,
Y'all come by.
if you want to bring money into the county,
Right.
that's not a way to do it, because it really looks bad.
We're trying to improve that, and,
Okay. Thank you so much. Stephanie?
anybody else?
I'd like to bring something up on behalf of Chief Brown out of the west side. In the last month and a half, we've had geo-trackers coming over to the fire department and placing geos inside the old grain silo. And we asked them to leave the property, told them they couldn't be doing it inside the silo. 2 days later, we received a letter saying that they had permission from the county.
They got permission from people, don't have anybody, had any of y'all contacted me about doing it. I didn't see anything wrong with it myself. I'll take the blame for that.
No, nobody's coming down on nobody.
I knew it was coming up.
We would like to know if, nobody's coming down on nobody. We would like to know if we can.
There's about 15 locations in the county where
Right.
there's geo-trackers. It's a game.
Right.
They go check in.
What we're asking-
and they're gone.
All we're asking,
Is it condemned? I mean,
and that's our concern, is somebody, because they're climbing inside the hole on the silo, looking for them.
It's just a
And
safety.
it's a safety issue, and that's the only thing, we're not throwing a fit, but we're asking if there's a way of us closing it off.
It's on the county property?
Yes, sir.
And who's coming out to put this in?
These are individuals from all over, everywhere.
Yeah.
We've had a geocache on the old fire truck down here
And
for years.
I mean, we don't have a problem with it being on the property, we just have a problem with, if they climb in that silo and that silo collapses or they get bitten by a snake, who's liable?
Yeah, I think we need to encourage that not to be. We might need to do a new letter, and probably even check into having the silo taken down.
Well, from our understanding, Moody will not allow us to take it down.
Sir?
Well, that's, I heard Moody was requested that we could take it down.
Like that?
It's, on the flight path, it is a landmark for inbound planes.
Well, they won't let you put an antenna on it. They won't let you maintain it. They
Yeah.
won't let you take it down. Let's send them a bill.
Because we can actually look.
Yeah, let them paint, the top on it, let them paint some kind of red arrow. Charge them a monthly fee.
But, I mean,
Maybe they want it.
we're not throwing a fit about them being out there, we're just concerned for safety.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Is there a way we could cover the holes is what we're trying to figure out, so nobody can get inside of it.
Walking around is one thing, but climbing in.
That's what I was gonna say, maybe it's limited to only putting that thing on.
Like I said, we had it on the old fire truck for years, but it's outside and people just walk around the truck, and, they find it under the bumper. But it's not a big issue, not a safety issue there. But they got a silo that's got rattlesnakes and I don't know what all underneath it.
Right.
And then he said they're climbing up inside the darn thing.
Well, I'll get Albert, you and Bob, y'all maybe take a look at that, see how we secure that, make it safe.
Yeah.
Either that or just put a sign on there and said, this is no longer a cache site, and they'll see the sign and read, you could simply do that. This is no longer a geocache site.
We don't have a problem with them putting it out there, it's just,
the safety of inside the site.
Anybody else? Motion to adjourn. So moved. All right, thank you.